So that guy we've been seeing in the cutscenes, he's apparently the protagonist of his own video game, collecting keys from the Illuminati. How about that?
Collecting keys to open doors to nuclear facilities across the world.
I honestly don't even know what sort of door they were opening. All we kind of saw in there was a bunch of papers thrown around. It's bad, I guess. That's at least what I can. That's at least what I can gather from the context clues provided in that cutscene.
Yeah, they didn't really tell us much in that cutscene other than that these are closely working coworkers that are probably going to betray each other. Oh, and speaking of betrayals,
or be murdered by Hitman.
Yeah, every one of these people that we're killing is themselves a killer.
Yes.
Where does it end?
Can you imagine that it's just like the developers of this game did not have the courage in their own character to admit that, yeah, he murders people. So they're all like, oh, no, but he only murders bad people. He's like Dexter. He's cool.
Mm-hmm. And if you're reading the character descriptions, you might notice that both of these people are closely connected to the father of the pod singer. And he's probably going to come up later.
Yes, I mean, no, certainly not. There's no foreshadowing in this sort of game. What are you talking about?
I mean, he was on the cover of Time.
What? Cover of Time magazine? Wait, I was on the cover of Time magazine a couple years ago.
Yeah, I was only on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Oh, what? Wait, when did that happen? Oh, and I missed it.
Yeah, it was for some song that I wrote about being on the cover of Rolling Stone.
I guess for some song that you wrote for Monday Night Football, referencing things that we did not talk about in the episode, but talked about instead before we recorded.
And therefore did not happen, as far as our viewers are concerned.
It's true. Our viewers are somehow not privy to everything we say. Isn't that weird?
Well, you stream enough that I don't know.
Maybe we should just be streaming all of the pre-production stuff here, so that people will be able to get these great Hank Williams Jr. references that they're missing out on.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'll do is I will just release every episode as like a two-part sort of thing, where it's just like, okay, the actual episode of the video game itself, and then also one where we have the 2 hours that we spend previous to that talking about like Mark Twain idiomatic phrases that I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
Extended cut. The Snyder cut.
In Tom Sawyer, Hank Williams Jr. provided the voice of Joe from Tom Sawyer.
Oh, yeah, and he also had that really good line where he's just like, you get high on me, but the space you invade get high on me.
And he said that in a Mark Twain voice.
That's Mark Twain's voice. Hey, it's me, Mark Twain, famous American writer.
This is the Mr. Show sketch, right?
Hey, we haven't talked. Hey, you know what? We got talking heads in the last episode. We got Mr. Show in this episode. Yeah. We are really hitting all the notes, right?
Yeah. So drink if you're following the drinking game that by now has probably already killed you.
If you're, I don't know, watching the entirety of Persona followed by 13 Sentinels, you've already stopped at this point in time.
Yeah. I don't know why you would watch that, but there were apparently people who watched these series. I don't know what they get out of it, what they get out of this one. Like, what are we doing here? We've said almost nothing about the episode itself.
We talked about nothing. Okay, fine.
It's kind of a Seinfeldian thing, not in the sense that it's cleverly written, just in the sense that it's a bunch of stuff that happened.
No, you gotta understand that it's just like there are incredibly high stakes to doing this episode well. Mm-hmm. And that we have to navigate these sort of choppy social waters to be able to put out a decent episode of Hitman, and as it turns out, we fail every single time.
To this day, Ken Morgan has never lost a case.
And then here comes the slap bass. The MIDI slap bass.
It's funny because, like, in Phoenix Wright, they also have prosecutors who have never lost a case, which is its own commentary on the prosecutorial system there. But also, it's like, it makes sense because it's like, it's a challenge. In this case, we're just killing him. Like, it doesn't say he's never lost a case and he has anti-assassin body armor. Like, it's not much of a challenge. It's just...
You have to kill him with words.
Yeah, you can only kill him rhetorically.
You have to defeat him at his own profession, and that's how you murder. That would actually be a weird game. Okay, that would just be a weird game. All right, we got to sing this guy to death, and then we have to debate this guy to death.
Yeah, like that Yakuza song. By the way, very realistic soundboard. That is pretty impressive. I mean, granted, you can kind of copy and paste the rows or the columns depending on how you do it.
One of the nice things
still,
about an actual professionally made soundboard is that there is going to be a lot of things you can just kind of copy paste on it, which is very good for a video game.
I gotta say, one of the things I do kind of envy the wealth of the characters in this game, because like some of these assets are better fidelity than the real life versions that I have. Like that soundboard looks nicer than the soundboard that I have, even accounting for the fact that it's in a game and not real.
Yeah, but I mean, what if it wasn't? What if we were actually in Thailand right now?
Yeah, the I believe that's like the Temple of Dawn or something.
You just once again, if we release the extended cut, they would know that you looked that up before the episode.
Yeah, well, they how many of them? That's why they need to subscribe to the Patreon where we have the extended cut.
Where we have not only the extended cuts, but also the spicy versions.
Yeah.
They get extremely pornographic.
Yeah. It's basically, we can only put it on Patreon. They're the only ones.
Oh, yeah, it would be struck down by U.S. obscenity law if we actually put it anywhere else.
Can't even put it on OnlyFans.
Oh no, OnlyFans! It's just like I tried to put it on OnlyFans, and OnlyFans actually just like shoved it back onto my desktop with just a big like window that just said no.
The problem with OnlyFans is that we got some perverts who signed up for it, and so they weren't technically fans, and so they had to ban the channel.
Problem with it is that we don't actually have people that are just fans. Everybody on the channel that watches these videos are all equally in love with me, so goes a little bit past fanaticism.
There's kind of a sadomasochistic thing where they have you play these games that you're probably going to hate, but at the same time, you hate them right back with your spiteful way of playing the game.
We have we do a little sadomasochistic play on the channel. Yes,
I like this is the clean half.
Oh yeah, no. We have not said anything incredibly offensive yet or obscene. Yeah. Look, I mean, and if we do, I'll just edit it out and put instead, I don't know, like Edgar Winter's Frankenstein or something once again.
Yeah, or Monday
what I'll do is I'll just edit in
a
bunch of like, I don't know, nonsense about us talking about the various states of our apartments or something. I don't think anybody would even realize that it's not actually what we were saying there.
These episodes, like if you take Persona 5, please don't actually do this, but Persona 5, 13 Sentinels, and so on, like, you just take all these together. I mean, that's probably the corpus for a pretty plausible AI, like, model. Like, there's enough there.
I was actually thinking about that as I talked about in the last episode, too, that I've been doing the transcripts and everything for the various Persona episodes, still don't have them. One of the things that happens whenever you put a shareable link to like Google Docs or whatever in a video is that immediately there's like 4 anonymous people that jump right into it. And I'm fairly certain that's probably AI learning from that have incorporated the entire corpus of Persona 5 into them now. They're just scanning YouTube for any link to something they can find.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, like, that's one of those, like, the web crawlers are well-known. Like, that's probably 25 years old at this point.
True, but it's like, it's just interesting to think that this is a video that came out, 2 years ago, that just got updated right now with a Google Docs link, and immediately, bam!
Oh. Okay, that's actually pretty wild. Okay.
Yeah, it's like the only thing I did was update the description for it, and immediately 4 people. Well, 4 bots, I assume.
No, there are people who are constantly interested in what you're doing, so.
Right. Everybody's in love. We just established that. I forgot.
We already did that, yeah, a bit. low poly drinks.
Well, they're the same low poly drinks because, again, I did have to admit in the last episode that I do recognize when there are repeats of low poly food in this game at this point in time.
I need to read The Great Gatsby. I mean, I've read the ending of it. I know how it ends. Something with a green light, but I've never
he gets abducted
read
by
the
aliens,
text.
right?
Yeah. It turns out that the green light was the aliens taking him in the current of space through the Milky Way.
Yeah, and it's like that's where he doesn't have money, so he has to work his way back. Nope, nothing.
Have you read it? Because I haven't.
No, absolutely not.
Well, now that you've admitted it, I actually have read it. I'm an expert on it. I'm a professor. So why haven't you?
We've already established well in this series that I don't know anything about anything.
I mean, neither do I, but I'm at least faking it.
He who knows nothing, and that's me.
Socrates was talking about us with that quote.
Exactly.
He was comparing us.
He was also, well, not a fan. Again, he was in love with me, but... You know.
God, speaking of things I love that this game goes out of its way to have food in every situation, like catered food.
These are very fancy people in very fancy places.
This feels a little bit. It's definitely intentional. It's like an Easter egg. Like they were like, well, we've got to have the kitchen in this episode because we've got the food designer.
You know, there's this guy on YouTube that I absolutely love. I'm literally in love with him. We're gonna put in a bunch of low poly food for him. Oh. Anyway, well, so yeah, I'm still surprised that I was able to just kind of walk right into the basement. Literally the first thing I did in this level. But that also does kind of go with the whole. I'm starting to understand that in Hitman, in The Man Who Hits, if you just do something with confidence, it'll actually work more often than not.
I think that's probably true to some extent in real life, like with assassinations. Like if you really
or with anything, I'm pretty sure that it's just like if you just straight up, looking like Hitman here, just walked right into the employees only section of anything, most people probably wouldn't stop you.
Yeah, and I feel like most heist movies are built on the premise that that's a lot harder to do than it really is. Like, you think about like most corporations, like they do have, they have like key cards and stuff, but it really doesn't seem like it's that hard to just like jump the line if somebody.
Well, just go get a clipboard. Are people going to see a clipboard and they're going to be like, "Yeah, that guy's supposed to be here."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they actually have Mike in Better Call Saul do that, where he's doing a security review of he gets a fake job, and so in order to, because he's like honorable and stuff, he goes through with a clipboard and just infiltrates this facility and then points out all the security flaws.
So, I mean, like right though, it's the sort of thing where it's like, even if you saw, I don't know, some dude walking by on the street like wearing a full clown outfit, it's like, would you do anything?
I would assume that they're a professional clown.
I would assume that I'm like on a TikTok, that they're filming a TikTok or something, and I just
but you repeat myself.
Anyway, okay, so
I don't know. I think there's a good heuristic for when we're going way off track. When I'm going off track is when there's something that's adjacent to Mark Twain. Anything that's like, oh, that sounds like something Mark Twain would have said. That's not a compliment. That's a sign that I just need to drop the bit. Like,
as we know, Mark Twain absolutely despised infamous man.
Well, he believed that everyone who was on TikTok, a professional TikToker, was a clown. And so he said famously... Is he wrong?
Are we not clowns right now?
Take a professional TikToker, take a clown, but I repeat myself. That was his famous line.
Anyway.
And see... Case in point.
I mean, I'm just rolling my eyes so hard. You can't see it. Just I want everybody to know that that's what's been happening for this entire tear that we've been on right now.
And this is just the clean half.
Yeah, once again, it's just like this is not the half where we get just incredibly lewd to a degree that would make like a professional lewd person blush. Nope,
But
that's nothing.
by the way, how do you feel about Thai food?
About what?
About Thai food.
Oh, Thai
cuisine.
Good.
Okay.
I have favorable opinions. I'll check that box.
Personally, it's probably my favorite cuisine in the world.
Really?
That I've had. Yeah, and that could just be provincial because we happen to have a lot of good Thai places around.
Because like I never see you eating Thai food, but then again, I suppose when was the last time I saw you?
I mean, yeah, with the pandemic and such. But no, I actually have ordered a lot. I spent way too much on getting Thai and, to an extent, Vietnamese takeout. Yeah,
I mean,
seriously.
yeah, that's. Look, we've already gone through our sad lives.
Yeah.
I can relate.
I think ordering a bunch of Thai food and having like a grand old time with that's one of the least sad things about my life. Like, I do eat way too much of it, though. So, like, it is like a gluttony thing. But
You are a very hedonistic person, but then again, so am I. This is known.
yeah, I actually want to visit Thailand at some point because I feel like they would actually, like, just for the cuisine. Like, I'm sure I would enjoy the culture and it would be an enriching, expanding experience. But mainly, I just
All
want that
I'm
food.
hearing is excuses.
I really want that spicy food. That coconut milk. Pad Thai. Pad Thai is probably the perfect noodle dish. All right.
So,
Why
hey,
are you just
instead
standing
of a
still in the
gilded cage,
episode?
what if it was a grilled cage? That was our emergency one when I realized that I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah,
Like, okay, so what if we made hamburgers on that cage? Like, it was a grilled cage.
I originally had suggested that we just start this episode with another, like, exploration. What about the concept of a gilded cage? Like, would you really feel, like, good because your cage was gilded? I don't think I would. I mean, yeah, it'd be a little bit nicer.
I said in the last episode, and I still stick to it, that it's like even just the appearance of something being fancy, I think does add a lot to the ambiance. I mean, it's like, is the food that we're looking at right here really that good? Probably, but you are also in a very fancy place at the same time too.
Well, I mean, and I wonder if that's, like, meant to be Thai food or if, well, honestly, given how much they spend on, like, designing the food, I don't know where all this money was spent on this AAA game, but
Everywhere in my experience is usually how AAA games go.
But I feel like they had a full
Make sure that the
food
horse's
department,
balls
and they're like,
shrink in winter.
and I do feel like with Thai food, they probably actually had people who wanted to design Thai food. Like, okay, let's
I
design
did not
this.
recognize that food, unlike some of the previous stuff. It wasn't the same sort of octagonal salami that we've seen before, or the something on top of cucumber slices.
Yeah.
Also mince.
But I mean, like, let's do an interesting, because I feel like what I'm saying is I think they started with the idea for these levels based on, we want to have interesting locations with interesting cultures, interesting food, and then they built the rest of the plot around that. And that actually wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that they had, like, Marrakesh, like, okay, it's a bazaar. I think that was part of their reason for having something in Morocco. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was a coincidence. You get to have different costume designers. Like, you're already spending all this money on these assets. Why not make that money really good instead of having the whole game be in, like, America, Paris, and London or something, which have been probably done
hey, guess what the next episode is?
Fair enough. Is that Colorado?
That is Colorado. Next episode's Colorado, the infamous one. It's also going to be a very long episode, so I hope you got a feature-length movie chunk of time to dedicate to that.
How long are we talking? We're talking
hour
90
and a half.
minutes. Okay, yeah, that is the cutoff for a feature film, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, roughly. Yeah, we literally have talked about this in a previous episode, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, what if it was a grilled cage?
Looking suave there.
Would you eat at a restaurant called the Grilled Cage?
Probably not. It sounds like the kind of thing where aliens started a restaurant in order to catch people.
I mean, I would think that it's like it's not like a real restaurant. Like it's again, you're getting filmed for a TikTok.
Yeah, I don't even believe in like the simulation theory, but that seems like a pretty plausible. Like if I saw the grill,
we talked about that at the end of 13 Sentinels. Actually,
I mean, well, for good reason.
Remember, we disproved that at the end of 13 Sentinels.
Also, I like I mean, it is pretty ridiculous how much food and assets are in this game. Like this is so.
I don't play a whole lot of
ridiculously
AAA games, so it's just like, yeah, we don't really see this, but I think this is kind of par for the course. Well, if
That
you're
is
not
really
making
shocking.
like a gigantic open world game, which are the sort of games that I have actually played.
That might be valid because like I don't watch a lot of Marvel films either. I mean, I've seen them and they're pretty mind blowing. The special effects, just you ever like. Have you seen any Marvel films? I don't know.
I haven't seen any one of the recent ones. Only old stuff. Is it like an interesting thing to even think that at one point in time people would talk about like, oh man, the special effects were super good in this movie, and it's just like not even a thing anymore.
Yeah, it feels like just at a certain point it became like industrial. Well, that's actually kind of my point. Is like, okay, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on the special effects alone in like Marvel films, and you like look at the credits, and it's like, yeah, there's thousands and thousands of people just working on the special effects across the world, like coordinating various things in just a gigantic supply chain that's just probably semi-automated, but also they're just pouring so much labor into that. And I feel like that's what I get the sense just like going through this. And maybe this isn't that impressive.
And
maybe
it's funny
they just
because it's
figured
just
out a
like
way.
the budget of a AAA game compared to a budget of a big movie is like incomparable.
Yeah. I mean, and to some extent, the fact that it is a game, it means there's more. There's almost more that you have to do with that money because you can't just make everything a bespoke. Like you actually have to design the entire building.
You
if
can't
you want
have
that to be a place.
one 3D animator working on erasing a specific actor's wrinkles as their entire job for the movie.
Yeah.
It's their entire job for 2 years for the movie. I cannot believe that is just like a standard thing that is written into contracts these days. That still just blows my mind.
Hello, sir. Have a lovely
I didn't realize that. Like for like older actors, like the CGI.
Oh yeah, I mean
things.
it's like it's one of those things where it's like you think, oh man, this guy's like 50 years old. He looks great, and then you're like, wait, they have it written in their contract that they have five 3D animators working to make them look that good.
Yeah. It's weird because like I watched The Irishman and I really didn't notice it that badly, but I wasn't looking for it. I didn't realize that they had done it so extremely. So it probably was like a lot more like it's one of those things where if you know to look for it, it's insane. And if you don't know to look for it, it looks like, okay, well, that's just what younger people look like. Maybe like I didn't notice any clipping in the faces. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
they
it was
didn't look like their face was made of jelly or something, like it was the 90s. They didn't look like Reboot.
Yeah, like they didn't look
They didn't look like the Money for Nothing video.
I have not seen the Money for Nothing video, even though I'm quite familiar with the song.
Actually, same animation company.
Oh. By the way, I guess
Reboot.
it's weird that I haven't seen the music video for that, given that famously Sting
It is a
says,
very famous video, yes.
well, I mean, Sting explicitly says in that in that song that he would like that MTV, or he likes that MTV.
Yeah. He
wants his MTV.
You want that music televisual experience.
I always felt like that added like nothing to the song though. Like maybe just because I haven't seen the video, but like I don't.
No, it doesn't really
think
add too much to the video either. Hey, Sanguine. No, it doesn't really add a ton to the video either. It's just like it's not a narratively focused video. I would
Dire
say.
Straits is the Dire Straits is a really good band.
Like I would not consider that to be, you know,
Sir, how are you today?
a rock opera or something, a opera.
No, it's just a really, really good song about hedonistic rock lifestyle in Bangkok, Thailand. It's set in Bangkok, Thailand, canonically.
Man,
No,
I think I totally forgot
that's a lie.
that it's just like I could have gone up this way. Because I go here like once and then they say no. And I don't think I ever came back at any point in time. Maybe there was like some good routes or something to do there.
Okay, so we need to avoid talking. I know that Bangkok is the capital of Thailand, but I don't really know anything about like the politics or the culture in any detail.
This was not even something that I was considering talking about.
Oh, well, now I've admitted it, and now it's just a thing. Now it's permanently in the record of.
I mean, I could always erase it and replace it with the spicy version.
No, that's just like 1984. You're taking us down a dark road.
So anyway, dicks.
Did
And
you just
that's
throw
that's the clip you want to take from this episode, everybody.
Now, was that what? Did you throw a glass at that person's face?
That was a coconut.
Okay.
No. I did the comedy thing.
No, you're supposed to put the lime in the coconut, not the coconut at the person. Classic mistake.
Classic mistake. People make it all the time.
I mean, yeah. All right,
So anyway, grilled Cage.
And I said, well, despite the fact that they're obviously grilled.
Now, I mean, how do you even keep steam in a cage? Think about that. You can't cage steam. Steam wants to be free, and also it has no, like solid form that would allow it to be entrapped within a cage.
I know why the cage steam doesn't exist.
I know why the cage steam teapot whistle. Huh? That was almost something.
Yeah, I get it because he sings. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So anyway, grilled cage.
It's not a gilded cage. It's a grilled cage. These windows, the ironworks on these windows and railings and such. It's part of the grilled cage.
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the things are grilled here. I mean, you can see, and they are, and they are like, cage-like, because I think that's mostly just to show that you can't, break open the window and walk through it, or walk through specific doors and stuff like that. But still,
I think it's a reference to the previous mission, which is a grilled cage.
Yeah, where I threw those two guys onto giant grills and they were grilled.
Yeah.
We're already talking about the grilled cage. I can't just say it again.
I think it was a mistake for you to ask the viewers to think about. If you think about it, like that was a mistake in a lot of ways, because now you've got them.
Look, if you're watching this, you shouldn't be thinking.
Yeah, please just like vibe with us.
Just hang out. Throw on some lo-fi hip hop beats to not think to.
Hang out down the street, much like Cheap Trick suggests.
Same old thing we did last week. Also, that's not Cheap Trick. That's Big Star.
It was a big cover of Big Star.
Yeah. Okay.
They're the only ones who say "Come on, Wisconsin," though.
That is actually a special version of that song. It's totally different. I don't know.
However, Cheap Trick
like number one record. That's a good album. And let me tell you, it's like you can easily recognize the song, it is very different from the place where they played on the television.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that, but they did play Wisconsin a lot, so it's not surprising. I mean, they actually did. They're a big. I mean,
Cheap Trick, of course, is famously the Wisconsinian band.
Among our parents' generation, they were a big hit. Everybody would go to the Cheap Trick concerts, and they would play Wisconsin a bunch, obviously. And they were also big in Japan.
Yes, famously.
Yeah.
What was the
They
Cheap
may
Trick
have even
Joe?
What was that?
Nothing.
Okay. There was like they might have even had a song called "Big in Japan," but I don't think that was them.
Not making any Joe jokes this time. Not this time, at least. It's really small hanger,
JoJo.
just by the way.
What?
The hanger, like the thing you hang clothes on, which I actually tried to remember the name of that object in the previous episode, and I really couldn't when I was talking about clothes.
Mm-hmm. But by the way, who was that in that bedroom who was lying there? Was that the target?
No, that's just a guy.
Okay.
They actually talked about it a little bit around when I was down in the bar area, that it's like this is a suite owned by a former like sitcom actor or something, and she was doing one of the guys for the thing for the cross man.
Yeah. By the way, he is the head of the class.
I'm sorry, I have to be circumlocutory here because this is not the spicy version of the episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. I understand.
So why did I do that? Because I found out in Sapienza that you can shoot these things and they deflate, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't. That was a mistake.
By the way, you mentioned in the spicy half that the scales are functional. Apparently, like it will tell you how much.
Oh yes, and
weighs.
and in fact, we are going to have Mr. Hitman's weight reveal happen in this episode. I don't remember when though.
Is it does the scale tell you anything else, like the weight of anything else, or is it just that one? just the Hitman himself.
Are you asking if it tells you how heavy Hitman's dick is?
No, I was that. I don't know why you went there. I was asking about like
we were literally just talking about the spicy version of the episode. How do you not know how I went there?
Oh, that's right. We did go there in the prior. Did you actually say that? The prior
yes, much like a '90s sitcom, we went there. Oh Jesus Christ!
By the way, according to a YouTube video, mirrors in games, they're not really mirrors. They're just they're machines. They're algorithms.
Often what they do is they just recreate the entire room behind it because that's easier than trying to program reflections, which, yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, well,
honestly, is this one time when I actually walk on the scale?
It's actually really stupid that they don't have, like, animated, like, I wonder if that's just, like, a settings thing. Like, if you turn the settings up, you'll actually see your own reflection.
I mean, Hitman, yeah, that might actually just be low settings sort of thing. Anyway, I am going in this room, and nobody's going to stop me.
I mean...
and there's nothing. Oh, here we go. So how much do you think he weighs?
180 pounds.
Nope, 47 kilograms.
Ah, damn, I was way off.
Because of course he does.
Yeah. He weighs like 100 pounds?
He's aging 47.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Don't worry, I didn't get that immediately either.
I mean, it's not really a realistic weight for like a fully grown man who's taller than most people.
He's mostly assassin skills, which doesn't actually weigh anything.
Like he's not 103 pounds. That's what that is.
Yeah, no, and no, we did not get how much his dick weighs. I'm sorry. I can give you other video game dick trivia if you want.
Sure. What do you know? I mean, well, this isn't the spicy half, remember.
So, Uchikoshi, the creator of the Zero Escape series, has gone on record on Twitter as saying that Sigma has a dick long enough to be able to twist it into the Sigma symbol.
Didn't know that second part. I've heard that he's talked about it in terms of like the length, but didn't realize it was actually.
Yep, he can make the. I assume like the E looking Sigma symbol is specifically what he was talking about. That it has been confirmed as canon on his Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'm sure. Yeah, the Zero Escape games they're pretty highbrow, so I'm surprised that he's even commenting on that.
You ever play AI?
I have
Files?
not. Those games, no, I have not played them. I have not played that, but I will say the Zero Escape games, at least the first two that I played, are some of the horniest games that I've ever experienced. Like, all the characters are constantly talking about fuck.
I didn't actually know that. I never played them myself, but I for some reason I assumed that they weren't, even though even though I'm fairly certain that after learning that bit of knowledge, I probably should have made an educated guess.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure even the old man is kind of lecherous. As that adjective, it tends to be.
Anyway, look forward to the full playthrough of the Zero Escape series coming up soon.
On our Patreon. Yeah, of course. Or
out on Patreon first, where it's uncensored.
Yeah. Is this a different kitchen? No, it's the same one. Okay.
So anyway, yeah, walking directly into the kitchen there was not a good choice.
By the way, really impressive plant life. Like, they do, like, this really feels like a cultivated garden. This is enough money that they have in this game. They could probably have a cultivated palace for the amount that it took to create this game.
I don't know, because like I said, it's still not even comparable to the amount of money that gets put into like a big movie. One of those movies that breaks blocks.
Oh yeah. The Bracket Busters, famously.
Yeah. The Gangbusters.
Like
a radio show that I hear was very loud.
I've heard that it's kind of crazy.
This is reference.
Gilded Cage.
So anyway, that's a reference for all the octogenarians in the audience.
Yeah, and the sextagenarians who have heard the phrase gangbusters.
I suppose.
Referencing.
Surely there's at least one.
I didn't realize that this was an actual show.
You didn't?
No, I just heard the expression.
Why am I saying you didn't? I'm not an octogenarian, by the way. I do want to make that clear. I do want to go on the record by saying I am not 80 to 90 years old. Not that you would know.
See,
by watching any one of the other series I've ever done.
By the way, I like that there are just things like called disguises. They don't just call them like a costume or something. They just actually call them disguises.
No, yeah, they call it you're gonna do kitchen worker cosplay.
Yeah.
I think disguises is a reasonable name for it.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, a grilled. I hate how much I'm bringing this up. It's like, even as a running gag, it's just getting stupid at this point.
It was always really stupid. Like, there was never a point where it wasn't
stupid. It's not like, this is not the highbrow Mark Twain humor that you expect out of this channel. From an austere man like myself.
I mean, at least Riley parodying the expression "gilded cage," or for that matter, my famous catchphrase for this whole series: "A hitman will make dollar." That was the whole basis for that Hank Williams tangent, and I've been saying it for months in my head, and I just had to say it there.
It took you until episode 4, eh?
Yeah, I'm surprised it took this long. I mean, we just had to run out of things to say. My famous catchphrase, yeah.
People will remember that you said that catchphrase all the time in the series, even though you never actually said it until episode 4.
It's gonna be like my epitaph. Like, oh yeah. The famous originator of that famous phrase.
Well, anyway, we're about to do the actual run here, but first there is there was like a replacement drummer that they have for the band here. So to get a good idea of exactly what it looks like when you kind of get up onto the top floor, we're going to see that, and we're also going to see a scene.
do you have the option of doing some like Looney Tunes thing with the keyboard where you when he does his hit song "Believe Me" of all these endearing young charms, and when he hits the high note, da 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 da, and then it explodes. Like
that should have been a thing. I don't do something entirely dissimilar though.
Yeah, just in case the octogenarians were not feeling pandered to enough, I just had to reference.
I pander to the octogenarians all the time. I swear to God, it's just like they should be my #1 audience.
I referenced a pre-war joke about a song that was itself like 100 years older than that.
It was already an extremely old song, even at that time.
Yeah. I'm going to reference Genie with the light brown hair.
Oh. Hitman has many skills.
But seriously, are you going to booby trap the drum or something?
They're going to booby trap something, I'll say that.
Okay. Because that was my first thought, is like, yeah.
This game is so dumb.
How accurately is it being animated? I don't have the sound.
It's just zoom in on the face and everything.
Hitman turns out to be a dead ringer for Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins.
It was not that cool, to be honest. So anyway, at this point in time, he just says, "Hey, walk with me," or whatever. And I assume you can kill him there, but that's not what we're going to be doing. Okay, winning run. All right.
You didn't even... Did you even go with him, like, at all? Did you see where he was going?
Oh, I didn't kill anybody up until this very point.
I was just asking because, like, it seems like he was going to give you some plot, like, oh, why is he doing this? Like, he's going to explain that it was a murder or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that presumably that's one of the story ways you can murder people, but that was also the best take that I had of going into the upper part of the area, and also we get to see Hitman do his cool drums.
Mm-hmm. He's literally... I mean, I guess it makes sense. He's a hitman, so it's percussion.
Yeah, he can hit the yoinky sploinky like nobody else.
Is that what they call drums? Yoinky sploinky?
No. For all the octogenarian audience members that are in love with me, that's a TikTok thing.
Oh, okay. It sounds like a 20, like a teenager talking about slang from like the 50s.
I mean, I can go and look this one up right now. After all, it's not like we're doing much of anything else, right?
I mean, I'm looking it up already.
Yoinky.
Oh, okay. It's used to describe various amusing and unique dance moves. Most often, the wobbly knees dance move.
And you hit it like a hitman.
All right, so what's going on with this episode?
I'm loving this deep look into TikTok culture right now. Now, give us your review on the Yoinky Sploinky meme.
Well, I'd have to go.
By the way, Hitman
videos.
His alias he uses when he checks into hotels is Tobias Reaper.
Oh wow! If I saw somebody their last name was Reaper, I'd be like, oh, so this is it for me.
No, it's Rieper. Totally different.
Oh, okay.
But actually, doing that did skip the conversation that Ken Morgan would be having with the front desk. So this is one of those things where I'm just like, I am literally lining up, actions so that NPCs are in specific positions, because again, this is just a speed run that I'm doing more or less.
What's your middle name? The Grim?
And I mean, he would just stare directly at you and through you.
Uh-huh. And just make a mental note that, this person is going to die as part of my winning run.
All right. Look, here's the thing. Once again, Hitman is a professional. We all know this.
Uh-huh. I love that
not just randomly kill people for no reason.
I love that it just it's sparkling, like you poured dry ice in there or something.
Yeah, it's gone rotten like it's in The Sims.
Yeah, it's spooky water.
Yeah, I haunted it with ghosts. You think it's poison, but it's actually so much more sinister.
Huh, I'm not feeling so good.
Nope, nope. And now that also interrupts the conversation that Morgan was having on the phone. So that we're just gonna stand here. Do that. Can't get your bodyguard to look at that, can you?
Well, anyway, I'm just gonna stand.
Whoop. And there we go.
Uh-huh. You were really
The
a fan
serial
of
pushing hitman strikes again.
Uncle Phil tossing DJ Jazzy Jeff from the house.
That's the Hitman style I play, and in fact, that was okay. Let's actually take a closer look at exactly how that one went down. I did not have to pick up any disguises for that. I did not have to, obviously kill anybody for that or raise suspicion in any way. That is Silent Assassin suit only kill, the highest tier of being able to, Hitman. That was peak Hitmanning that you just witnessed there. Did it feel like it?
No one has ever Hitman better than I.
That is like I said, I didn't even have to change into a different disguise for it, which is like a challenge that they put to you in this game if you want to do that.
Did you actually get an achievement for that?
I think you can unlock stuff if you do that. I don't know if there's any actual achievements for it, but it's like a conduct that I'll get extra experience for if I were to do that for both of the kills here.
Well, congratulations, first of all.
Yeah, once again, it's just like, did it feel like it? That feel like, oh yeah, that was the perfect kill. Or did it feel like I just threw a guy that I just DJ Jazzy Jeffed him off the edge of that? Because it's like that was the ideal way to kill somebody in this video game we know as Hitman.
I mean, honestly, you just threw him into the river. Like that doesn't.
Yeah, but
seem
that
like
was the ideal. Like you could not have done that better.
I mean, yeah, like he's in the water though. Like it's not like he just died.
Actually, if you look down there,
right?
there's rocks.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I mean, the other thing, it's like, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's suit only, Silent Assassin, and also no body. There's no body that you can even find. So that was a perfect kill.
Okay, we're looking at perfection here. We're tossing a perfect game.
Well, that's only for that one. Obviously, I've already changed into a different disguise.
Yeah, okay. You lost the perfect
I'm not
game.
actually planning to do that, but it's just something about, like, that's all you need to do. That's all you got to do if you want to do a perfect kill, an absolutely, totally flawless, developer-approved kill in Hitman. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's just like a Silent Assassin, I think, is good enough for me, right?
And you throw him into the laundry. Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course. Once again, it's just like, if I'm going to... I generally don't leave... I actually don't think I can really leave bodies around because guard, walking routes, whatever you want to call them, do tend to go by pretty much everything. Unless I'm going to be trying to literally knock out and throw into a laundry hamper every single guard that exists in this entire place.
Yeah. By the way, I am told that in really complex civil society, when you're talking about things like a palace or something, there are going to be guns lying around in case there's a disorder or something.
That was because I knocked out the guy.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, it's one of those things where I think as I'm going up, actually I don't think that happens, but basically if I'm carrying around a gun and I get frisked, that's bad. So I do try and get rid of that just on the off chance that might end up happening. Even though I chart these things out like a speed run, as I've already stated.
You've got this perfect disguise. You're completely, you're not distinct and people don't recognize you, but you're still sneaking around the camera room.
NPCs will actually comment on that. They'll be like, hey, quit doing that. You look really stupid.
Yeah.
But it's just like, hey, there was one guy there that would have actually recognized me if I was standing up. But that was also one thing that I talked about in the last episode, where there was that bit where I was dressed up as a security guard, and I said that at this point in the time that I'm playing the game, I could just kind of duck behind a janitor's cart and nobody would notice.
Mm-hmm. By the way, the Club 27 concept, which is the basis for this mission, doesn't really make sense if you're actually hiring assassins to kill them. Like, kind of defeats the purpose of like, oh yeah, you live really fast and you died when you were 27 or something.
He was murdered by Hitman.
He was like, he turned 27. Like at his 27th birthday gala, they hired a hitman to kill him. That doesn't count really. Like,
well, too bad. They're making that distinction nonetheless.
Yeah. Even the doors are really... I was not talking about Jim Morrison, but like even the doors that they have here are pretty intricate. Like that is pretty impressive.
Yeah, this that's the sitcom star, I guess, and
the
sure.
Gilded Door.
Hey,
Gilded
whatever.
Door.
Sound Assassin's still on.
I said the Gilded Door. I just need to make sure that's clear.
That's
all right. That wasn't worth it. I just...
Anyway.
Okay,
make sure that guy doesn't see me, then just... Well, I can hop right in there, but there's actual people that would notice me.
So you're going to do some elaborate killing involving his musician skip. He's doing this, like, he's got this studio, he's recording. He's going to be, you're going to find this elaborate way to gain his trust by playing the drums. And then
no, that was an alternate reality.
Did you throw a coin to cause him to be like that?
I was like, how am I going to kill him this time? Who could even say? Probably anybody that was reading the dialogue between the characters previously.
Well, that would make 0 of me, because I was not.
No, we were too busy talking about dicks or something.
Yeah, too busy having an enriching conversation. An enriching, expanding conversation about Thailand.
Brain-wrinkling conversation.
Why would Wes want to use a mic with a notorious
poison microphone?
Talking directly to the 80-year-olds in the audience, I believe, is exactly what we were doing.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Cross, let's hear that next take.
No, he doesn't want to take it. The mix is really bad right now.
Well, then we're not going to take it.
Or get on with the cutscene already.
Uh-huh. I don't know if I can do this. There actually, so it literally is the thing with the Looney Tunes gag.
Not quite, but sort of.
It's more like it just, which is what they should have done in the Looney Tunes. They should have just had like.
They should have just had Bugs shoot him.
Anytime he presses any piano key, it explodes. That would have made more sense.
Yeah, I mean, if Bugs Bunny was an assassin, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, Hitman needs to fix the mix on this jam session so that the guy will actually want to sing.
I really respect that, like just that stupid random mini game for no reason at all.
For no reason. No, that was absolutely not necessary, nor was it like challenging or anything either. It lights up in like white and green when you get it correct.
Uh-huh. Which is famously how all audio interfaces actually work. When you get the right take.
When you get the right take, it turns white and green. Because it's just like, yeah, you did a good job. Thumbs up.
Yeah, no, and it'll turn red. It's like, no, Nirvana did it better.
Like, oh, come on. But this is the 27th time we've tried mixing board. Surely we can't just strive for perfection in everything we do. but the mixing board disagrees.
Yeah, they think he's just being a perfectionist, and it's like, no, it won't let you record if you don't get it perfect.
That's why in the next episode we're going to have to go and assassinate Senator Mixing Board.
Yeah, he's got a monopoly on the mixing board industry, and he's been, strangling recording industry for
Prime Minister Mixing
decades.
Board. Yeah, before he becomes Prime Minister Mixing Board.
Yeah.
Never see you coming. I mean, Hitman basically is like a phantom thief, except he murders people.
Prime Minister Mixing Board sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like something
Should
from...
it be Prime Mixinster?
Prime Mixing Board.
The speechlessness there. But it should, though, right? Anyway, he's dead.
I like that it shows it, just in case you're
they give you the picture in picture. Because I'm already walking out.
This is such a goofy game.
This is such a goofy game.
Yeah, like it's such like they've got so many details just to set up that moment where he sings into the exploding mic.
Where he literally does like a Looney Tunes like being electrocuted pose. I mean, it might as well have just showed his skeleton flashing.
By the way, is he the owner of this palace? Is that established, or is this
no?
just
His dad is.
Ah, okay, there we go.
It's not a palace; it's a hotel.
Uh-huh.
And there we go.
Oh, and it's just straightforward. Like you exit. You don't even get in the
just
boat or
kind of
something.
walk out the door. It's like this is your final shot. That's it.
Okay, nice.
There we go, baby. Silent assassin, and at least one of them suit only.
Now, are you getting a cutscene? Like, do they do a cutscene after every mission?
Of course we're getting a cutscene, so sit back and get your popcorn.
The body of billionaire media mogul Thomas Cross was discovered earlier this evening, slain by multiple gunshot wounds. Cross was scandalously kidnapped this morning at the funeral of his only son, acclaimed rock musician Jordan Cross. A notorious recluse, Thomas Cross has not left his private island in years, and authorities are now looking into a connection between the two deaths.
This was no coincidence.
Not by a long shot. Thomas Cross had billions in hidden offshore accounts, all stripped clean within hours of the kidnapping. Someone wanted the son dead to lure out the father. Someone smart enough to stay in the shadows while we did the wet work, and the Highmores picked up the check.
A shadow client. Someone got rich. The contract was just. That was a sound problem.
I know you don't care about politics, 47. But ICA is neutral, or always has been. Can't allow ourselves to be manipulated. Besides,
It's happened before.
Italy, Morocco, Paris. All our clients got their intel the same way. Anonymous tips from a hidden source. Each contract perfectly legit, yet part of a grander design.
I don't see the pattern.
Somebody does. The board has asked us to chase down this shadow client, and our analysts are closing in as we speak.
I know that tone.
Someone's playing a game, 47. The question is, against whom?